Dham ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Kalachandji Dham ki jai. Gangamai ki jai. Jamunamai ki jai. Bhakti Devi Tulasi Maharani ki jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Transcendental Books and Prashadam Distribution ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtana ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Oh, perfect.
Hare Krishna. What's your baby's name?
Naomi.
Naomi. Hare Krishna. Let's all give a big Hari Bol to Naomi, who's here for the first time. Hari Bol. May Radha Kalachandji and Srila Prabhupada shower her with their blessings and mercy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. We'll be reading from Shri Chaitanya Charitamrit, Madhya Leela, chapter 9, verse number 222. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. (222) Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Radhanath Swami Niti Namane. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Tamal Krishna Goswami Niti Namane. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane. All the assembled devotees are here. I love and respect all of them so much. So I'm not gonna say anything so that I can teach, but I'm just gonna say something for me to learn what I'm experiencing and what my thought process is. So if there are any corrections or feedback, please feel free. Collect them and let me know. Verse number 222. Chamtapure Ashi Chamtapure Ashi Dekhi Shri Rama Lakshman Shri Vaikunthe Ashi Kaile Vishnu Darshan. Translation. Later the Lord went to Chamtapura, where he saw the deities of Lord Ramchandra and Lakshman. He then went to Sri Vaikuntha and saw the temple of Lord Vishnu there. Purport. Chamtapura, sometimes called as Chenganur, is located in the state of Kerala. A temple of Lord Ramchandra and Lakshman is located there. Sri Vaikuntha, about 4 miles north of Alvar Tirurangarai and 16 miles southeast of Tirunelveli, is situated on the bank of the river Tamraparini river. Malaya Parvate Kaila Agastya Vandan Kanyakumari Taha Kaile Darshan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to Malaya Parvat and offered prayers to Agastya Muni. He then visited Kanyakumari, Cape Comorin. Purport. The range of mountains in South India, beginning at Kerala and extending to Cape Comorin, is called Malaya Parvat. Concerning Agastya, there are 4 opinions. 1. There is a temple of Agastya Muni in the village of Agastyampalli in the district of Tanjore. 2. There is a temple of Lord Skanda on a hill known as Shivagiri, and this temple is said to have been established by Agastya Muni. Some say that the hill near Cape Comorin known as Patia served as Agastya Muni's residence. 4th, there is a place known as Agastya Malaya, which is a range of hills on both sides of the Tamraparini river. Cape Comorin itself is also known as Kanyakumari. After visiting Kanyakumari, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Amlitala, where he saw the deity of Ramchandra. Thereafter, he went to a place known as Mallaradesh, where a community of Bhattaharis lived. Purport. North of Mallaradesh is South Kannara. To the east are Coorg and Mysore. To the south is Cochin, and to the west is the Arabian Sea. As far as the Bhattaharis are concerned, they are a nomadic community They camp wherever they like and have no fixed place of residence. Outwardly, they take up the dress of sannyasis, but their real business is stealing and cheating. They allure others to supply women for their camp, and they cheat many women and keep them within their community. In this way, they increase their population. In Bengal also, there is a similar community. Actually, all over the world, there are nomadic communities whose business is simply to allure, cheat, and steal innocent women. कमाल कार्तिके देखी आइला वेत पानी रघुनाथ देखी तहाँ वांचेल रजनी. After visiting Mallardesh, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Tamal Kartika and then to Vetapani. There he saw the temple of Raghunath, Lord Ramchandra, and passed the night. Purport: Tamal Kartika is 40 miles south of Tirunelveli and 2 miles south of Amravalli mountain. It is located within the jurisdiction of Tovalai. At Tamal Kartika is the temple of Subramanya or Lord Kartika, the son of Lord Shiva. Vetapani or Vatapani in north of Kaila in the Tamil Nadu state. It is also known as Bhutapandi and is within the jurisdiction of Tobala district. It is understood that formerly there was the deity of Lord Ramchandra there. Later, the deity was replaced with the deity of Lord Shiva, known as Rameshwar or Bhutanath. घोषानीर संगे रहे कृष्णदास ब्राह्मणा भट्टहारी साहताहा हाइले दर्शन. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was accompanied by his servant Krishnadas. He was a Brahmana, but he met with the Bhattaharis there. Stridhana dekhana tanra lobha jana maila arya sharala viprera buddhinasha kaila. With women, the Bhattaharis allured the Brahmana Krishnadas, who was simple and gentle. By virtue of their bad association, they polluted his intelligence. Allured by the Prata uthi aila vipra bhattahari ghare tahara uddeshe prabhu aila satvare. Allured by the Bhattaharis, Krishnadas went to their place early in the morning. The Lord also went there very quickly just to find him. Ashiyaka hena saba bhattahari gana amara brahmana tumi rakha ki karana. Upon reaching their community, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked the Bhattaharis, "Why are you keeping my Brahmana assistant?" Ami ha sannyasi dekha tumi ha sannyasi mora dukh deha tomara anyaya nahi vasi. I am in the renounced order of life, and so are you. Yet you are purposefully giving me pain, and you do not see any good logic in this. Shuni sabha bhattahari uthe astra lanya mari bare aila sabe chari dike dhana. Upon hearing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the Bhattaharis came running from all sides with weapons in their hands, desiring to hurt the Lord. Tara astra tare ange pade hata haite khanda khanda haila Bhattahari palayachari bhite. However, their weapons fell from their hands and struck their own bodies. When some of the Bhattaharis were thus cut to pieces, the others ran away in the 4 directions. Bhattahari ghare maha uthila krandana keshadhari viprelana karila gamana. While there was so much roaring and crying at the Bhattahari's community, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu grabbed Krishnadas by the hair and took him away. So I wanted to read till this point because it's very much applicable for me, where devotees, friends, spiritual master through his representatives, they have rescued me. Sometimes in our material pursuits, we forget what all have been given to us. And we get so absorbed in achieving the so-called things, which gives us some name, fame, recognition, that we forget what really have been given to us. And when I read this, it reminded me of the verse and I was searching for it. In the next chapter, because this chapter continues, in the next verse, Lord Chaitanya, he visits the next places. He doesn't say anything to Kala Krishna Das. He continues the whole South India Yatra. And when he goes back to Jagannath Puri, there he meets all his associates, Lord Nityananda, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, Swarup Damodar. And there, this is the continuation of the story from Kala Krishna Das' perspective. It says, Bhattacharya sabaloke vidayaka raila, tabe prabhu Kala Krishna Dasa bolaila. Saurabham Bhattacharya then asked all the people to leave. Afterward, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called for Kala Krishna Das, who had accompanied the Lord during his South Indian tour. So sometimes the spiritual master is observing us. We may feel, why this particular devotee is only getting the association of the spiritual master, why only that particular devotee is getting the mercy, why not me? There can be several reasons, but the spiritual master, he knows the disciple more, much more than the disciple knows the spiritual master. He is observing the spiritual master. The spiritual master is observing the disciple. And similarly, Lord Chaitanya, he did not say anything to Kala Krishna Das during the remaining South Indian Yatra. And then, now he takes the opportunity. And he did not want to correct Kala Krishna Das when only he and Kala Krishna Das were there, because he knew he won't be able to take it. And then he will need the help of the other associates of Lord Chaitanya. And here, Kala Krishna Das, when he is in the room, all other have gone. So another lesson which we learn is the correction, is only given in private. But if any glorification or recognition we want to give, we do in public. That's a very, very important principle in a Vaishnav community, that where we share our hearts in confidence with our friends, It can be something which might be bothering us as well. But in general, in public, we always glorify the Vaishnavas. We don't chastise or correct them in public. प्रभु कहे भट्टाचार्य सुन है इन्हारा चरिता दक्षिणे गिया छिला इन्हा amara sahita. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my dear Bhattacharya. So he's not talking to Krishnadas, Kala Krishnadas directly. He's talking to Bhattacharya, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my dear Bhattacharya, just consider the character of this man who went with me to South India. Can we imagine being in Kala Krishnadas' position, in front of Lord Chaitanya? And while I was reading this, I was thinking, why he was not directly chastising Kala Krishnadas, but he was talking through Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. And I could think the reason being, he wanted to put Kala Krishnadas under the care of Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya and other devotees. Generally, not generally, but even Lord Chaitanya, let's read the next verse and we'll see how heavy he goes. Bhattahari kache gela amar chadiya Bhattahari haite inhar anilona udhariya. He left my company to associate with the Bhattaharis, but I rescued him from their company and brought him here. Ebe ami iha ani karilana vidaya yuhari icha yaha ameshana nahi aradaya. Now that I have brought him here, I am asking him to leave. Now he can go wherever he likes, for I am no longer responsible for him. Heavy, no? But this is the hard part of the coconut. It's because he is a sannyasi and he has to set the example. But when he says, for I am no longer responsible for him, he did not say, but he's also saying, without saying, that I am putting him under your care. That now you are responsible for him. So that's, sometimes the role of the father. In the earlier days, like one of the parents, generally the mother is more loving and caring and affectionate to the children. And the father is more strict. It's not that he doesn't love the child, but if he is also loving and caring like mother, then the child may take advantage and may not develop into a mature individual. So similarly, the spiritual master, he has to take that role of being heavy. But he knows with whom he can be heavy. He knows who can take it. And for people, those who cannot take it, he makes arrangements in such a way that still they are taken care of and they learn through other senior devotees or senior god brothers, senior god sisters. In the Bhagavatam also, Bhishma Pitama, he tells when he sees that how much suffering the Pandavas had to go. And he tries to explain why, the Lord put them into so much difficulties. And he gives the example of the relationship between the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. The relationship between mother and daughter is much more stronger. If the mother says anything to the daughter, she doesn't take it personally. And even if the daughter says something to the mother, she doesn't take it personally. There is an ongoing relationship. That's why mother-in-law, she never corrects the daughter-in-law directly. This is not me. This is Bhishma Pitama saying. So, and he says similarly, and so the mother-in-law, she corrects the daughter, and by chastising her daughter, she teaches her daughter-in-law. So similarly, the Lord, he does not chastise the non-devotees directly. He puts his devotees in such difficult, challenging situations, and he teaches the people in general through his devotees. Purport. Karl Krishna Das was influenced and allured by nomads or gypsies who enticed him with women. Maya is so strong that Karl Krishna Das left Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's company to join gypsy women. Even though a person may associate with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he can be allured by Maya and leave the Lord's company due to his slight independence. So our problem is our independence. And some of the friends with who I talk and I share my heart, through them I learned this is our core problem. We came in this world because we wanted to be independent, and we continue our independence. And if we continue to do so, we are in a very, very precarious, difficult situation. Because anytime, any day, we can slip. So that's why being in the association of devotees, with our well-wishers, with friends, is very, very important. Only one who is overwhelmed by Maya can be so unfortunate as to leave Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's company. Yet, unless one is very conscientious, the influence of Maya can drag one away, even though he be the personal assistant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what to speak of others? The Bhattaharis used to increase their number by using women to allure outsiders. This is the factual evidence showing that it is possible at any time to fall down from the Lord's association. One need only misuse his little independence. Once fallen and separated from the Supreme Personality of Godhead's association, one becomes a candidate for suffering in the material world. Although rejected by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Karl Krishna Das was given another chance, as the following verse relate. So sometimes, it might be hard in the association of devotees. We don't like the way some devotee chants. We don't like the way some devotees behave. We don't like the way temple management operates. It's possible. Sometimes it happens. We don't like so many things which may go around. But what other choice do we have? Generally, what happens is if we have difficulties, we say, this is not a good place. Let me move somewhere else. And then I go there, I live there. This is not a good place. Let me go somewhere else. But we forget that the reason why we came in the association of devotees is not to change them, to change ourselves. So through devotees, through the different situations which we come across, we have to see the Lord's plan and tolerate. When we say Trinadapi Sunichena Tariro Tarorapi Sahishnuna Manina Madidena Kirtaniya Sada Hari. Saying it is very easy. But to live by it is very, very difficult. Sometimes we have to, not sometimes, most of the times we should, do whatever within our authority, within our circle of influence. But if not, then okay, Radha Kalachandji, whatever is your plan, so be it. But still, we may be detached how the things might be going. But at the same time, we have the responsibility to contribute the best possible we can. Just like in a family, we may not like our partner, our children, or the children may not like parents, but family is family. There can be challenges, but we never leave. The unit remains. So in the next verse, Nityananda, Jagadananda, Mukunda Damodar, Chari Jane Yukti Tabe Karila Antar. After this, the other devotees, headed by Nityanand Prabhu, Jagadanand, Mukunda and Damodar, began to consider a certain plan. So this is the power of association of devotees. Even though the Lord told him to leave, but still the senior associates of the Lord, or the senior God brothers, they come to our rescue. And they say, okay, if you have, this service has been taken, but we can engage you in some other service. So that's the mood, if we are in that position, in that situation, that we have been given that opportunity to associate with our spiritual master. We take responsibility on his behalf to take care of the other devotees around. And sometimes we have to be harsh, and sometimes we have to be, but it is not with a grudge or any ill feeling. It is with a genuine love and care. Because the senior devotees, disciples, they understand the heart of the spiritual master. Even though Kal Krishna Das was abandoned, but all of these devotees, they were thinking how to still engage Kal Krishna Das in the service. Purport. Even though a person is rejected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the devotees of the Lord do not reject him. Therefore, the Lord's devotees are more merciful than the Lord himself. And just to share, one personal observation. There was one devotee and he misbehaved in our community. And the temple management decided that he should not be coming to the temple. And it's a harsh, restriction. It can be heavy. I did not know the whole background, what happened, why it happened, and all those things. But I saw Nityanand Prabhu, he arranged for prasadam to be delivered to this devotee at his home. For the whole duration, he was not allowed to come to the temple. And he did not say that he sent it, but he sent it through other devotees. So that's the responsibility of being a leader. We have to do certain or take some difficult decisions. But what is our consciousness behind? It is not with a grudge, but a genuine care to take care of the whole community and at that particular individual as well. Even though a person is rejected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the devotees of the Lord do not reject him. Therefore, the Lord's devotees are more merciful than the Lord himself. Srila Narottam Das Thakur thus sings, Chadiya Vaishnava Seva Nishtara Piyeche Keba. One cannot be relieved from the material clutches without engaging in the service of pure devotees. The Lord himself may sometimes be very hard, but the devotees are always kind. Thus, Kal Krishna Das received the mercy of the 4 devotees mentioned above. Gauda deshe pathaita chahi ek jan, aike kahibe yai prabhura agaman. The Lord's 4 devotees considered, we want a person to go to Bengal just to inform Sachi Mata about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's arrival at Jagannath Puri. Advaita Shrivasadi Yata Bhakta Gan Sabai Ashibe Shuni Prabhura Agaman. After hearing news of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's arrival, devotees like Advaita and Srivas will certainly come to see him. Ei Krishna Das Adibe Gauda Pathan Eta Kahi Tare Rakhilene Ashvashiya. Let us therefore send Krishna Das to Bengal. Saying this, they kept Krishna Das engaged in the service of the Lord and gave him assurance. Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected him, Kala Krishna Das became very, very sorry and began to cry. Therefore, the Lord's devotee took compassion upon him and gave him assurance and encouraged him to continue to engage in the Lord's service. Recently, I started helping in DT worship, and I was serving with Mother Manjali. And many flowers now we get from Trader Joe's. So sometimes some of the flowers are in borderline, whether to use them or throw them. So she used most of the flowers, but there was a bunch of flowers which were not so good. So she was thinking, what to do. Eventually, she did not put those flowers in the Lord's head or hands. She put those flowers in front of that golden lotus. So, their life is perfect if they can serve the Lord. So that mood, that absorption is so crucial. It's not we are just giving service to the devotees around, but it is that mood, that consciousness. No one should leave. Everyone can do something for the Lord. Some devotees may do big things, like Hanuman. But there are several devotees like ants, like me, who will do simple things. And then still they need to be engaged, encouraged. So that's the mood of especially when we have devotees who are under our care. That somehow or other keep them engaged and let them continue serving the Lord. And then I went further and I was looking where is this verse, and I went to Antya Leela. CC Antya 4:46. When Sanatan Goswami goes to Jagannath Puri to meet Lord Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya informed Sanatan Goswami that your brother Anupam has left his body. And then they start discussing about Anupam, and Sanatan Goswami, he shares that actually he was a devotee of Lord Ram. But Rupa and Sanatan Goswami lovingly or in a playful mood, they asked Anupam, you also become devotee of Lord Krishna, and then all three of us will go and preach. And then Anupam, out of love, he obliged and said, yes, I will do that. But then the whole night he could not sleep. And he kept, how can I stop the service of Lord Ram? And then in the morning, he went to Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami, and he said, please forgive me, I considered it, but I cannot leave the service of Lord Ram. And then when Lord Chaitanya, he heard this, he says this verse, Sai bhakta dhanya ye na chhade prabhur charan, Sai prabhu dhanya ye na chhade nij jan. Glorious is that devotee who does not give up the shelter of his Lord. And glorious is that Lord who does not abandon his servant. And the next verse says, Durdaiva sevaka yadi yaya anya sthane, Sai thakura dhanya tare kule dhari ane. If by chance a servant falls down and goes somewhere else, glorious is that master who captures him and brings him back by the hair. So he brought Kala Krishna Das by the hair. And that's one of the reasons devotees, they keep shikha. That's what I've heard. So that the Lord can pull them back. And just to conclude, I'll share one pastime of Srila Prabhupada when he was in Mexico. I am paraphrasing it, so if I go little wrong, please feel free to correct. So there was one devotee who took sannyas, but eventually he gave up that order of life and he got married. And when Srila Prabhupada, he visited that temple, if I remember correctly, in Mexico, he was staying behind. He was not coming in front to meet Srila Prabhupada. Then Srila Prabhupada called for him. And then he was crying when he came in front of Srila Prabhupada. And he said, just like Lord Chaitanya, he abandoned or he gave up the association of, I don't want to use this word abandoned, but externally, yes, Lord Chaitanya, he abandoned Kala Krishna Das and Chota Haridas also. So that devotee said, will you also abandon me? And Srila Prabhupada started crying as well. And then he said, Lord Chaitanya, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He can spread the Krishna consciousness throughout the world single-handedly. I'm just an ordinary servant and I need the help, any help I can get. So I need you. So that's the mood. That's the Vaishnav culture. So sometimes things may happen. We should try and go and see them deeply, not just on the surface. So this verse is our hope. If by chance a servant falls down and goes somewhere else, glorious is the master who captures him and brings him back by the hair. Thank you very, very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If there are any corrections or comments, please.
Hare Krishna. If Lord Chaitanya was going to reject Kala Krishnadas after they got to Puri, why didn't he just leave him with the Bhadaharis?
Because he never abandoned Kala Krishna. Mishra Bhagavan Prabhu, in a very, he knows everything, but just to encourage and to keep the discussion going. Because he never abandoned Kala Krishna Das. He wanted to do good for Kala Krishna Das. That's why he took him and then he put him under the care of Nityananda Prabhu, Swarup Damodar, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, all these devotees. You know, even in the past time where that one devotee, he was, in a disguise, listening, participating in the kirtan in Shiva Sangan. The Lord said, devotee has to leave. But it was devotee's mercy. The Lord said, after 10,000 lifetimes. And then that devotee became so happy. So Lord is very unconceivable how he showers. He is Lord Chaitanya, Namo Mahavadanyaya, the most merciful. How can he abandon? But externally, to set an example, sometimes he has to take those apparently harsh steps. Would like to add something more, Prabhuji?
Actually, I asked your spiritual masters this exact same question about 20 years ago.
And what did he say?
Shri Radhanath Swami, he's so expert in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So I asked him that question, why did he reject him? Or why didn't he bother saving him if he rescued him and then he rejected him? So Radhanath Swami sat back a little bit and he kind of went through his files because he knows everything about Chaitanya Charitamrita. He knows the whole, all the volumes inside and out. So he focused on that one pastime and then he says, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati comments on this pastime that Lord Chaitanya wanted to show three things First, he showed his mercy by rescuing Kala Krishna Das. Number two, he exhibited his standards by rejecting him. And number three, he showed that the devotees of the Lord are even more merciful than the Lord himself.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Oh, Prabhuji. Please wait for the mic.
Hare Krishna. So the just a quick clarification only. So the last item that you depicted, so in that particular case, the devotee was a sannyasi and then subsequently he became a grahastha. Is that right? My understanding?
Yes.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Radha Kalachandji ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Charit. Oh, sorry, Tulsi Mataji, please. I'm sorry.
I was just appreciating Prabhu, such a sobering topic, devotee association. And, we hanker for devotee association and we are advised to take devotee association. But it is such a responsibility to not misbehave in devotee association, and also how to graciously rectify if someone misbehaves. So it's a lot to absorb. You covered so many beautiful points, so thank you.
Thank you very much, Tulsi Saki Mataji. You are example of an ideal community devotee as well. Hare Krishna.
कीर्तन गान नर्तन प्रभु प्रेमामृतां वनिधि धीर धीर जन प्रिय प्रिय करो पूजित श्री चैतन्य कृपा भरौ भुवि भुव भारा वहन तारक वंदे रूप सनातन रघुजुगौ श्री जीव गोपालक वंदे रूप सनातन रघुजुगौ श्री जीव गोपालक कृष्ण कीर्तन गान कीर्तन गान नर्तन परम प्रेम में वीर वीर जन प्रिय प्रिय करो निर्मा पूजितम चैतन्य कृपा भरौ श्री चैतन्य कृपा भरौ भुवि भुव मारव अंतरक वंदे रूप सनातन रघुजुगौ श्री जीव गोपालक विचारणै पुनः सद्धर्म संस्थापक लोकानां हितकारिणं त्रिभुवने मन्नं शरण करो विचारणैकन पुनः सद्धर्म संस्थापक लोकानां हितकारिणं त्रिभुवने मन्नं शरणं धर्म संस्थापक लोकानां हितकारिणां त्रिभुवने मन्नं शरणं श्री चैतन्य कृपा बरौ लोकानां हितकारिणां त्रिभुवने मन्नं शरणं करौ। विचारणैकनुगुणं तद्धर्म संस्थापक लोकानां हितकारिणां त्रिभुवने मन्नं शरणाकरं Radha Krishna Radha Krishna Padarabindau Bhajanamritau Radha Krishna Padarabindau Bhajana Nandena Mattalika